Now by Jane Cowley from the Women Against State Pension Inequality campaign. Jane, good to have you with us. You heard there from one of Labour's frontbenchers. We've heard from the government. No one seems to be guaranteeing any sort of compensation. What do you make of it?
Well, we do know that we have very strong cross-party support in Parliament, and that, as you've mentioned, the APPG, the All-Party Parliamentary Group, is recommending compensation around the level of £10,000. I do hope that this isn't going to get lost in politicking. It will certainly be an election issue, and Labour will only be able to wait so long before it comes out with a clear statement on what it will do in terms of compensation for WASPy women. I do want to pick up one thing that Emily Thornberry was saying on your programme earlier, and that she said that that Labour MPs had stood beside women asking for fair and fast justice. That isn't correct, actually. Labour MPs have been standing beside WASPy women asking for fair and fast compensation, and that's what they're supporting, compensation rather than justice. There is a difference.
You say there's a difference. Can there be justice if the compensation isn't paid, say, by an apology?
Certainly, an apology is needed and will be very welcome. But women have lost out hugely in financial terms, and it's only fair and right that compensation is paid. The Ombudsman themselves have said that compensation is needed in this case.
Are you having any conversations behind the scenes to try and move this forward?
We have conversations all the time with MPs from all parties, and we'll certainly be continuing that to try and move this forward towards a satisfactory conclusion for the 3.6 million women who are affected by it.
When you look at the total compensation bill, some have estimated that if the compensation that's being called for of £10,000 were given, that bill could run to £36 billion. Some would say that's money that could be spent on improving the services, public services, that these same women rely on, and there's a calculation there to be done.
Certainly, and we always have an eye to the public purse. I mean, when you look at the scale of the losses that women have actually experienced, that comes to way more than £10,000. I think it's also worth remembering that the government has saved £181.4 billion by raising women's state pension age. So the amount of compensation that we're looking for is just a tiny fraction of that amount.
OK. Jane Cowley from the Women Against State Pension Inequality campaign group. Thanks very much for speaking to us here on Breakfast.
Thank you.
Naga, Charlie.